Now here are three utilities that I think are probably for the slightly more advanced network administrator, and I really will emphasize slightly. I'm not saying you have to be like some kind of senior network engineer before you're using this stuff. No, not at all. I'm just saying it's not quite as basic as things like ipconfig or ping. We have Netstat, which just as it sounds, it's used to display statistics and connections. Okay, so it will show you your network statistics. We have Nbtstat, and this is something that I would say is probably to some extent becoming a tool of the past. And the reason is because it's used to display something called NetBIOS statistics to troubleshoot in name resolution issues, but to be more specific, NetBIOS name resolution issues. And NetBIOS is a protocol and a naming convention of the past. Not to say that it's not used at all. It is still sometimes used, and that's why I still list it here. If it truly was not used at all, then there would be no point. But it is still out there. So Nbtstat will help you with the NetBIOS statistics. And then we have Nslookup, which is used by Windows to troubleshoot DNS name resolution issues. And this is the current naming convention that is used not only by Windows, but by pretty much everybody. Okay, because DNS is also the naming convention used on the internet. So just as in a previous lesson, I talked about TCP/IP being the protocol that's pretty much used everywhere because you need it for the internet. Well, DNS is pretty much used everywhere because, again, needed by the internet. Now, one other thing I will mention about Nslookup is that it has both an interactive and non-interactive mode. So one way that you can use Nslookup would be with a series of switches, just like I talked about with ipconfig. You could use a switch or switches to put in the command saying, here's some stuff I want to see, and then it just gives you a result. Or it has an interactive mode where you just simply type nslookup and you get into a new nslookup prompt where you can then go through a number of different commands, one after the other, to help resolve your DNS issue.